Good morning. It is about 6:30 in the morning and I am finishing up my workout. Another mile to go. I'm so stinking proud of the fact that I'm making it a habit, that I'm currently 8 days into consistency. I think that is super powerful for me. I think it's something that I need, especially going into the holidays. I need to be confident that I can make good choices, and a really easy way that I can be confident in my choices is to lace up my sneakers every single morning at 5 a.m. and get my movement in. I'm doing a lot of just simple exercises, sit up, planks, squats, push-ups, pull-ups, that sort of thing, along with a 5-mile walk. And every day it's getting easier. The first day it was terrible. I did not want to move, but now it's not so bad and it's getting easier to get up all the time. I love the fact that I'm getting up even before my alarm. I think it's because I'm looking forward to it now.
Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch, where we just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it. I'll have a little of that.
Rachel did not go to church with a set of cat ears on her head.
I did not, but once we got home, I just wanted my hair out of my face a little bit, and it's funny, these Halloween type of headbands are usually lighter. If I wear a headband that's too tight or too heavy, I get a really bad headache. But if it's the light ones, it's perfect.
So we are going to do a full day of eating vlog today.
Nice.
Starting off with an unusual breakfast, or at least some people would say it's an unusual breakfast.
It is, but it works great for us. So, well, first of all, are you saying that people do not start the day with a jalapeno?
Probably not.
We do. So, hamburger, homemade sausage. This isn't a regular hot dog even.
No, this is not a hot dog. I used collagen casing. I think I'm going to get some hog casing. But, so the hamburger isn't really a hamburger. It's the leftover that was left in the bottom of the machine that I couldn't stuff through the sausage. Mm-hmm. I'm attempting to make the jalapeno cheddar sausages that we buy at Sam's Club.
It is so stinking good. The blend of spices is perfect.
So, yeah, I want to try that, and then we're going to try the sausage. But like I said, I used collagen casings, which are edible, but I think that the hog casings would be better.
What is really funny is our first date.
The meat is good, though.
Our first date, hamburger, jalapenos, and buffalo sauce. And now I've turned into you.
Yeah.
Marriage.
So, you know how when we get to the end, you have all that meat left that I turned into a hamburger?
Yeah.
I found out the way you can get it through.
Oh, how?
People use dried bread or rice, and you just push it through until the rice comes out, and then you would feed that rice and stuff to your animals. But so but you get probably 80% of the meat that's in there. You would be able to turn into sausage, and just once you see the rice come out, for us we'd be done. For some people they wouldn't mind if it was there, but for us it would be done.
How neat! What a cool thing.
Let's try the sausage. Dink.
Dink.
That's good. I'd probably add even more jalapenos though.
I don't know. Those jalapenos we got, hottest we've ever had in our life. What was up with those guys?
I don't know. My eyes were tearing when we made them.
In another room, just it being in the air was making us
It was like dealing
with
ghost peppers. Mm-hmm. Do want to say today's video has a sponsor.
Yay!
Today we are sponsored by Keto Brick.
Thanks, Keto Brick.
Now, if you don't know anything about Keto Brick is a meal replacement bar. It is 1,000 calories, about 80% fat, very, very low in total carbohydrates. They have super clean ingredients. This is the buttered maple pecan flavor, which is a seasonal flavor.
It's back, baby.
It just got re-released. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
But what's nice about a lot of the Keto Bricks are like 8, 9, 10 total carbs for 1,000 calories. They were developed by Keto Savage for himself so he can get some more fat in. They're great for backpacking, hiking, camping. You can melt them down, turn them into fat bombs. Buttered maple pecan is one of my favorites. Nootropics is another like once in a blue moon flavor. And then Macadamia Madness is another great flavor.
Really, really good. In fact, I mean, that one's honestly my favorite.
So here's the deal. There's a link down below if you're interested in getting some Keto Brick. And if you use that link and you use the coupon code 2KrazyKetos, you will get a free brick on your first order. Now, the way you're going to do that is you're going to go in and you're going to add your bricks in. So if you want to get, for example, a 7-day supply, you put that in and then you go find one additional brick. You have to put it in as one brick. And then when you enter the code 2KrazyKetos, it'll take that brick off. But if you're interested in getting Keto Brick, use the link, use that code. We really appreciate Keto Brick for sponsoring today's vlog.
We sure do.
And before we do get going, I want to show you, here's what dinner is going to be. We're going to have smoked beef ribs. Never made beef ribs before.
I'm so excited about this.
They had these at Costco. We're going to cook these on the Kamado Joe. I covered them with salt and pepper yesterday, so they've been dry aging in the refrigerator. We've got the grill going. Once it gets up to temperature, we're going to throw it on there. It takes about 4 to 5 hours. And in the meantime, we're going to eat our breakfast.
I like how Joe Jr. here is like eyeing you. He keeps like turning her head towards you. Like, what are you doing over here?
So do you have them now where they come when you call them?
Yeah.
Because that's your whole goal, right?
My whole goal is to, when I say chuk 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 chuk, they come from wherever they are, because they will continue to do that. So like, let's say they accidentally get in the front yard, you know, and you don't want them there because they could, you know, get out and get in the road. You need to be able to call them back to you quickly. And so that's what we work on a lot. And obviously it's very treat based. So I'll come in and probably starting tomorrow, start making them some scrambled eggs in the morning, because that's even more tastier and delicious. And just
see, look,
give them a treat.
Chickens will eat you if you let them.
Yeah,
see how she's like pecking you?
Oh, absolutely.
They will eat you. People think that like chickens are supposed to eat vegetarian. No. They want meat.
They do.
They want any meat they can get. Oh, look at her.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so we have the first round of chickens. They come whenever you go outside and call them. But the second round that we have 2 out of the 3.
They will at least answer, but they're not as snuggly.
You can't pick them up, but that is because when they were this age, we ended up getting COVID and like couldn't get out of bed for 3 weeks.
Right. So the more time that I spend with them, then the more that they're just like this, where they want to, you know, sit in your lap and roost on you and just be near you.
This is completely normal.
That you're living in our bathroom?
This is absolutely normal behavior.
The last time you lived in our bathroom was when you tried to lose weight.
Yes.
6 years ago. 7 years ago.
Very different. Very different.
Now you're living in your bathroom.
Not
with
detoxing
chickens.
from sugar. Instead, we playing with chicken babies.
We have any right there? Yes. Who's that?
Joe Jr. is weirdly
Are they all
always,
Joe Jr.?
No, Joe Jr. is always weirdly at my side. I don't know why. I mean, is that a coincidence? Joe Jr. is always like interested, like, where is mommy? What is she doing?
So, you've created a monster with making sausages.
Have I?
Yes, I've gone down, you know how you go down the chicken rabbit hole?
Yes.
Learning about chickens when we're going to get chickens?
Uh-huh.
I found a forum, which I didn't even know forums still exist, right? Because, you know, before you really had popular internet, you would go into a forum.
Right.
Right?
That's how you found your Beanie Babies.
And so I found a forum called the Smoking Meat Forum. And it's just lots of guys talking about how to smoke meats and specifically making sausages.
Okay.
You can get all your questions answered. And I got a bunch of my questions answered. So,
What were some of your questions?
if you want the hot dogs to be that pink color that you're used to in the store,
Right.
you have to use prog powder, cure number 1. Same thing we use to cure bacon.
Right.
I'm completely fine with that. You don't have to use it, but if you don't use it, your hot dogs are going to be that whitish gray color.
Which I don't like.
Okay?
I don't like it.
They said it
Did you use that in today's recipe?
No.
Because smoking the meat also feels like it turns it red.
A little bit, but not as much. Then they also said that the best thing to do is stuff the hot dogs and then in the links, put them in the refrigerator overnight before you smoke them. It makes the flavors mix better, and it will help the pink powder, the prog powder, the cure number 1, do its deal, cure the meat. And that will result in a juicier hot dog.
It could get juicier than what
and
you're making?
a more flavorful hot dog.
Oh my gosh.
So it's little things. So they said you don't have to put it in overnight, but it's completely different from putting it in the refrigerator overnight to not putting it in the refrigerator overnight. And a lot of them also said a good way to cook them is to sous vide them, or you smoke them on a low temperature and then you're moving them to an oven. But yeah, so the thing that we learned is after you stuff them, put them back in the refrigerator overnight before you cook them, and you'll end up with a better hot dog.
I'm willing to do the experimentation that I need to do in order for us to bring forth the best possible recipe.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and check this out. So, oh, look at those ribs. I think we have a ways to go because we're still not creeping down the rib. We're a little bit, but not as much as I want. Now, the meter is saying we're at like 205 degrees, but there's no way. We're gonna go ahead and check it with this probe. Yeah, we're at 185 degrees, so we have 186 degrees. So we have a ways to go still. What we're gonna do is we're going to let this go. I'm gonna add a little bit of smoking chips to the bottom, and we're gonna start spritzing this with water a little bit. So first thing I'm gonna do is go add some smoking chips to the bottom, and then I'll get my water. So what I do is I pull out the ashtray, and you can see we've got a little bit in there, but see how it's smoking? We're gonna add a little bit more in here. So we're gonna just put this down on the ground, and I'm using these Jack Daniel's whiskey barrel smoking chips. We're just gonna put a few more. And what's happening is the hot ashes are dropping down on these. And that's what's giving that smoke flavor in there. So now we can go ahead and put this back in. I learned this trick from Smoking Dad Barbecue. I'll leave a link for his channel. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and spray this. I need to adjust this hinge so that the top stays open more. See how it's dropping a little bit? I need to just adjust that. So I've got a spray container here, and I have in here about a quarter of apple cider vinegar and the rest water. And we're just gonna go ahead and spray these ribs down. And what that's gonna do is allow that smoke to really get into the meat and also keep it from drying out too much. So it's about 5 o'clock, and according to the meter app, the ribs are done. So let's go ahead and check them. I got my tray just in case. We're gonna go ahead and check them. Oh, those look delicious. It smells amazing. Let's go ahead, and at this point, I'm not even gonna check temperature. What I'm gonna do, well, first I'll check temperature. Let's see. So 208 degrees. Now what I wanna do is I'm gonna do a probe test through the whole thing, and doing the probe test is really gonna make me realize if it's done or not. So what I do is I just find, like, here's your bones. We're just gonna put it through, and I want it to go through like butter. Just like that. Look at that. Yeah, there's like no resistance. These are done. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do this with one hand. And it may just come apart. But what we're going to do is we're going to move this over here. Oh, look at this. Am I doing it? I'm doing it. Yes. We're going to put this onto this. And then what we're going to do, we're going to pull this out. That's first of all. What we're going to do is we're going to lightly foil wrap this, and we're going to let these rest for at least an hour, if not longer. Now, the key to this is don't tell Rachel they're done, because she doesn't have a lot of patience for the resting process. But these ribs are going to be much better if we let them rest for at least an hour. Fortunately, what we're going to do is we're going to have them wrapped up very loosely in aluminum foil. I'm going to go put them in the oven. That'll keep the heat in the oven, not out here, obviously. And I'm going to run to Lowe's because we got home earlier. I couldn't use our Innova oven, the GFI pop. So I need to get a new GFI because the switch is bad, or the outlet is bad. So I'll put that into the oven, and then by the time I get back from Lowe's, we should be ready to eat. Okay.
These are giant.
I wish they had more meat on them.
Yeah.
I really thought that they...
I always feel that way.
Well, I've had beef ribs like that we've gotten in other places, and there was like a lot more meat. Mm-hmm. Like some of these have a lot of meat, and some of them have like no meat. Like this one, like very, very little meat. Oh, wow. That, oh. The M. Mm-hmm. That is really, really good. Okay. So, I do want to try this. We had our live stream earlier. And we had this stuff. We didn't try it yet. This is the Carolina Gold, which actually has pretty clean ingredients. It doesn't have any oils or anything like that in it, but this is more of a vinegar base, and I happen to like vinegar based barbecue sauces, so I just wanted to try it. I'm not a big barbecue sauce person on my beef, but
Tastes really good.
That is really good. Yeah, it's kind of sweet. Mm-hmm. I wish it was a little bit like tartar. Like it almost needs to be cut with more vinegar. But it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's good.
We got it at Walmart. It was like $3 for the bottle. So another option. So again, if you're okay with sucralose, so we are gonna finish eating. And we'll just pick this up in the morning.
Sounds good.
Good morning. It is Monday morning. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm going to make some breakfast. We have Keto on the couch in a couple of hours. Rachel is actually already taking a shower. She went on her long walk this morning doing all her exercises. I slept in. I've got a big week coming up this week with like running. I've got probably 12 to 14 lacrosse games on the weekend. So I'm trying to rest my foot a little bit because it's been hurting. Not my bad ankle, but my other foot. I got hit when I was doing a football game last week, and ever since then, not quite right. But we've got a bunch of bacon that is getting to that point of either freeze it, eat it, or throw it out. So I'm going to cook it all up. We're going to have some for breakfast today, and then some we're probably going to take with us because we are going to go to Universal Studios after Keto on the Couch this morning. Once Keto on the Couch is done, I think Rachel's going to run and get her nails done, and then we're going to head up. We're going to meet John Paul and Michelle at their house, and we're going to spend the evening at Universal Studios. So for food, not quite sure what we're going to do today because there's not a lot of things that I really want to eat at Universal Studios that isn't going to cost a fortune. So we may fast, we may not. We're just going to completely go by how we feel. I know that we're not going to be going to like the Brazilian steakhouse or anything because we want to be inside of Universal Studios for the evening. So that's going to be a no-go. But there's other things that, you know, if we really want to eat something, we can go to like Moe's or something like that where it's not going to cost us a whole bunch of money. Okay, so for breakfast, we're going to have some eggs, some bacon, coffee, and we're going to make a mug cake. Actually, Rachel is going to make a mug cake. Yes, you're going to make a mug cake. But let me show you what you need for this mug cake, because this is a very special mug cake. We need some pork rinds, some cocoa powder, some vanilla, some baking powder, optional sweetener. So we can use stevia, liquid sucralose, you can use allulose, you can even use erythritol. I tend to not bake with erythritol. Then we need an egg, and have you noticed something's missing?
Is there any fat source to this thing?
Yes, there is. The fat source is keto bread.
All right.
What are you supposed to be today?
80s camp counselor.
Nice.
Hoping to be the one that survives the day.
Okay, so we're gonna make a keto brick mug cake for breakfast and split it. So first thing you need to do is you need about 19 grams of a keto brick, which is basically 1/8 of a keto brick, since we melt them down into pucks a lot of time.
Convenience.
Would you think that maybe I made this recipe to be based on one puck, right? So we're gonna go ahead and melt that in a mug or a ramekin. So put it on for about 30 seconds, check it. You might want to give it a little stir, and we're gonna go until it's completely melted.
This smells really good. This should be a candle for fall. This is the buttered maple.
Okay, so go ahead and put that down.
Okay.
And now what you're gonna do is, to that, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of pork rinds. I already have everything like laid out. So 2 tablespoons of pork rind, a tablespoon of cocoa powder,
Don't want to miss any of it.
a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and then if you want to add in some allulose or erythritol, a teaspoon of that. You have to work quickly so that it doesn't melt. Oh, and then the vanilla. Okay, go ahead and give that a good mix. Okay, that's good. Now I forgot, we also need a 1/2 tablespoon of heavy cream, and now you're gonna add in an egg. Don't crack it on the edge of the bowl.
Sorry.
And you're gonna go ahead and mix that until it's fully incorporated and mixed. Okay, so at this point, if you wanna add some additional sweetener, you can, but we're not going to. So I would add 20 to 30 drops of liquid stevia, or you can add like 4 or 5 drops of liquid sucralose. So at this point, go ahead and stick it in the microwave. I go for about 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Anxiously waiting.
Oh, bring that over here.
It is hot. Boom.
Ooh, look at that.
Looking good. Here is a napkin for
Oh,
you.
look, I feel so fancy. Here you
Thank
go.
you. Ooh, fun coffee.
Do not come at me for the heavy cream.
It's leftover from the baby shower.
I'm not throwing, this stuff's like $5 a can.
It's
so
not
I
cheap.
am not throwing it out. This is the sugar-free whipped heavy whipping cream. Normally, we make our own. First of all, we don't do whipped cream very often. But when we do, we make it in our own like little whipped cream dispenser. But again, not going to waste it.
Look, I have a 3-eyed happy face today.
Nice.
Perfect
well,
for
considering we're
October.
going to Universal Studios.
Yay!
Okay, so coffee does not look pretty.
It looks murky and greenish.
It's funny because, yeah, it's like coming up on Halloween, but that's not why it looks that way.
It's not
So,
actual canal coffee.
Nespresso released their peppermint pinwheel coffee.
You were so excited.
Yo,
so is
this
John
stuff,
Paul.
run and order this. If you have Nespresso and you like Andy's candy kind of thing,
Right.
that's what this tastes like. So what I did was I brewed that, ran it through twice, and then each coffee has 1 tablespoon of the Keto Chow chocolate mint. And I've not had this combination yet, but I figured how bad could it be?
That is good.
Oh my gosh.
That is dang good.
Okay, we need to place another order for that pinwheel because it's like
It'll be gone.
we bought like a sleeve of it last year when I got Rachel the Nespresso, figuring like, I don't know, chocolate mint coffee, how's that gonna taste? And it was so good, and when we went back to order more, gone.
Out.
It was gone. They only get it for this time of the year. It's like a pumpkin spice kind of thing.
Mmm.
Do I have whipped cream on my face?
You do a little bit. But you also shaved your mustache, which high five.
I did. It wasn't
Oh
my
my gosh.
mustache. It was the nose hair. Why do we grow hair in our nose and our ears when we get older?
I don't know.
You lose the hair here.
Right.
But
That's
you
not
gain
fair.
it inside of your nose and your ears.
I
Like,
agree.
what's up with that?
That is not fair.
Okay, we have Keto on the Couch coming up.
Yes.
So, 3 eggs, 4 slices of bacon, 3 eggs, 3 slices of bacon. Just because, like, it's a larger breakfast than we normally would do.
Yeah.
But we may be fasting today because we're going to be in the park really late and we won't really be able to leave
like,
the park.
Midnight.
So here is, look at that. Look at that. And there's no flour in it. No flour.
Not even almond flour.
No almond flour. We're using pork rinds. We're using cocoa powder.
Although.
You can use any flavor keto brick you want. Can
Yeah.
I have a scale? I want to make sure I get the bigger piece. No, I'm just kidding. You were actually going to give
I
me
was
the
absolutely
scale.
going to do it. I'm trying to be helpful. So, we do have our original recipe for the keto brick mug cake.
It's on our website.
And it contains almond flour.
But
so.
I've modified it already and you can actually use pork rinds. Okay, so take a look at that. Look at that. Is that not amazing looking? Which one is bigger?
You're still eyeing to find out.
I am. Okay, ready?
Dink.
That's so delicious.
Perfect for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
And if you want to up the ante, throw some Lily's chocolate chips.
Oh, yeah, right into
Or
it.
some, right inside when you're mixing it. Like, right at the end, after you got everything, throw a few chocolate chips in there. And then they have a little chocolate chip surprise to her. You can do this.
Now, I will say that this isn't...
Okay, look.
Oh.
Now you got it like a Hostess cupcake.
That's delicious. Definitely more like
I'm a child.
a breakfast muffin.
Now, we didn't add a bunch of extra sweetener, though.
But I'm telling you, this works fantastic if you're used to having a muffin and then trying to change out for something nice and fatty, delicious, and again, great for kids. You don't need to tell the children that this is made up of like pork rinds and good fat, right? They don't need to know.
I mean, you're getting some MCTs in there from the keto brick. There's some extra protein from the keto brick. You can do it with any flavored keto brick.
Yeah.
I've tried it with both the whey protein ones as well as the ones that use pea protein. I get the same result. Again, I feel like the keto brick has enough sweetness for me.
Yeah.
But you can add a
some.
bunch more. We add a little bit of the allulose. The original recipe actually called for erythritol, which you can use. There's not a big cooling effect because you're only putting a teaspoon in.
Right.
But you can, if you want it super sweet, like a Hostess cupcake, just add a bunch of liquid stevia, like 30, 40 drops if you want. And then, or you can use liquid sucralose.
Really good.
Oh my God. It's honestly, I think, the best consistency keto cake I've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like we need to turn this into a full cake recipe. Like, use a whole brick.
And make an entire keto brick cake.
That would be a really interesting recipe. So, we're going to finish eating. You're going to go get your nails done, right? You're going to try to?
I'm going to try to get these things filled because it'll be way cheaper.
Okay, so we are on our way to Universal Studios. Joe is driving, and I have a nice little cold sore outbreak. This is stress. When I get stressed, I had like a stressful incident last week. When that happens, I get a breakout, and it's so flippin' rare.
It's the only time you get them.
It's the only time I get it, and like it's boop. But now it used to be where it would like take over my entire face, but ever since we've gone keto, it always looks like a little pimple. That's what it looks like. So anyway, sorry that my face looks a little bit ugly today.
No,
And
it doesn't.
my nails look a little bit ugly today. So we thought, no problem. Before we get on the road, I'm going to go get my nails fixed. We'd gone to Walmart yesterday. This was my first problem.
This was the first mistake.
This is the first mistake. Hopefully everybody can hear me because the air was on. So we went to Walmart yesterday and we see that they were saying that you could get fills on the the dip, right? So they would do fills. Now I've never seen that before. Usually if I get like a dip done, that's it. You have to get a whole new set every time. So we asked the lady, are you sure you can do fills? And she was like, absolutely, yes I could. I mean, this was definitely like an ancient woman. Like this woman was probably 120 years old. So, which is fine, you know. I'm thinking to myself, all of the expertise, right? Like this is probably somebody that's been doing this for a really long time. And so because of that fact, she knows things that the other nail technicians just do not know. So I went today. It's supposed to only be $35 for a fill.
And take like 40 minutes.
And an hour and a half later, we are deep into the problems. She's like, okay, turns out I cannot do a fill. I'm going to have to do all of your nails again, only I'm not great at it. And I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean you're not like great at it? And also I have none of the colors that you're asking for. Cause I'm like, I'll do purple, sage. We could do like a brown color, like what? And then finally I'm like, well, what do you have? And she's like, in the dip, I basically have black and silver. So I'm like, all right, I guess we're just gonna do black. But as you can see, like she just didn't know how to use it at all. So my fingernails are put on a little bit like, they're very slanty. It's not like the natural way that like your finger would go. It's almost like it's on my finger, but it's going that way. So, and Joe is like, we got to go, woman. Like, we have to get on the road.
We left my car in the parking lot. I'm finally like, I will come meet you because we have to be in the park
at 4:30.
By 4:30, 4:45 at the latest.
So Joe picks me up. So the lady is apologizing because she's like, this looks terrible. And I'm like, it's all right.
She still took your money now.
Right. Well, and I tipped her because
why?
Because I felt like terrible not tipping her. Somebody needs to hear this right now. Stop cheaping out on yourself. You get what you pay for.
Do you remember what happened the last time you got your nails done and
Yes.
tried to cheap out?
That was a painful experience. So this is an ugly experience. The last time was a painful experience because they just used another nail to just shiv up between my nail bed and the fake nail and popped all my nails off, and that was super painful but cheap. I mean, I saved money, but it was very, very painful. This time I saved money, but it's terrible. It looks awful.
Now here's the thing. This applies to your health.
Yes.
And your food too.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, this is honestly a cheap lesson. This is a $30 lesson.
35 with the tip.
$35. Let's not talk about the tip. $35 lesson. Don't cheap out on yourself.
Right.
When our kids were little, we played a game of how cheap can you feed the family?
Yes.
And we got it down to like, we could feed a family of 5 for $3 to $5 a day.
Yeah, because we were leveraging things like Hamburger Helper, yakisoba noodles. We were using powdered mashed potatoes. And it was just like a lot of just pasta, rice, just filler stuff. Like we knew even then there wasn't a lot of like vitamins and nutrients in our box of, suddenly salad or, the Hamburger Helper. That was not even top shelf pasta.
But here's the thing. We may have only spent $3 to $5 a day on our food back then.
Mm-hmm.
But what did it cost us when it comes to our health in the long run?
We were always sick.
We were always sick, and we are paying for it now. Now, fortunately, over the last 5 years, we've gotten our health on track, but for years, we paid for it. And when you're buying food now, you're either paying for it now or you're paying for it later. And I'm not saying you need to go buy the most expensive Wagyu panda massages, Dr. Mary calls it beef, but buy the best that you can afford. If the best that you can afford is the $3 a pound beef in Walmart, then buy that. If the best that you can afford is the $10 stuff from your local butcher, buy that. But don't look at it and go, well, I can't afford to eat meat, so I'm going to eat this fake garbage or these like boxed mashed potatoes, because number one, we can't afford. We can afford anything that we put our mind to. We shift money around. But if you don't want to pay for the meat and the healthy food now, you're going to pay for it with doctor visits, medical issues, pharmaceutical.
Yeah.
Somewhere you're going to spend the money.
And I think that we would have been better off back then to just shift it from a package of hot dogs and yakisoba noodles to 2 packages of hot dogs. I mean, if it's the lips and buttholes hot dogs,
Who cares?
that's still better. If it's the cheapest eggs, it's still better. It's still better than what we have, or what we had back then.
Okay, you have got to hear this thing that Rachel was just reading.
So Kaya had posted an article that said the healthiest Halloween candy ranked from worst to best for you.
Can we stop right there? The healthiest Halloween candy.
Well,
how are those 2 words in the same sentence?
I understand, though, the desire to be like, if I'm going to give my kids anything, what am I going to give them? Or if I'm going to indulge in anything, what should I indulge in? This is a very, Weight Watchers approach to Halloween, right? Because it's you're going to be able to do it in moderation. You're going to be able to find something that's practically a 0-point candy, right? Because it's going to be so much better than everything else.
I'm fine with the best to worst list.
Yeah.
But can we take out the word healthy? There's no such thing as healthy candy.
Well, let me read the very last thing of this article because that's the funniest part. So they're saying that the worst is Twix. So I'm going to start. There's only 22 listed, so I'm just going to say them. So first it's Twix. That's the worst. Then Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Peanut M&Ms, then Nestle Crunch, Raisinets, Almond Joy, Snickers, plain M&Ms, Three Musketeers, Baby Ruth, Butterfinger, then Milky Way, Kit Kat, Skittles, the Brock's Candy Corn, Tootsie Rolls, Starburst, Laffy Taffy, Airheads, Sour Patch Kids. Number 2 is Tootsie Pops. And the winner for best option as a Halloween candy, Smarties.
Okay, so here's my question. Before we hear why are Smarties better, because I'd like to know that.
Yeah.
Can somebody please tell me what makes Twix worse than Milky Way?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They all seem pretty similar and bad. Caramel, lots of different sugar, corn syrup.
Well, they're going
to me, Twix should be on the better one because at least it's got a cookie in there.
Well, they're doing that because they're saying the calories. That even a fun-sized Twix
the calorie
has 250 calories versus, let me see, the Milky Way is the one that you had mentioned, right?
Right.
Milky Way, 160 calories.
So we're back to calorie counting.
So
now
it's
we're
a calorie
counting candy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so why are Smarties the best option?
Okay, so this is what the article says. It says low in calories, sugar, and fats. So it is low in fat and it is low in calories. But as far as sugar goes,
how is it low in sugar?
It is made of sugar,
right? That's the pixie sticks that we would give our kids. It's pure sugar.
Smarties are the clear winner when it comes to healthy candy. But let's be honest, they're kind of boring and don't appeal to everyone. So I love this because a lot of times, what is the complaint? Keto is boring or eating correctly is boring. So here we are on candy and they're like, yeah, but it's so boring. So, I mean, it's not allowing sugar and garbage into your life is going to solve the problem with people in your life saying that it's boring. Even if you try to do an approach where it's I'm trying to do the best of the worst, there's still going to be people that are yeah, but that's boring.
So it says, ultimately, if you're gonna eat candy, you should eat something you actually want and will enjoy, regardless of the calories. As long as you don't eat the whole bag in one sitting, because they don't know Rachel, eating any treat on this list is a healthy decision.
Wow. Now, for
Wow.
the record, this is not our opinion. This is
No,
the
of course
opinion
not.
of, who is this from?
Dun 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 dun. This is
Insider?
Insider.
Nice.
This is by Emily Denuzzo and Leia Raquetto.
That's pretty good job, guys.
Way to go.
That's a good job.
Fantastic reporting.
Universal Studios, and I want a special treat. Brisket from Carnivore Snacks. Good morning.
Good morning. What time is it?
I have no idea. What day is it? What planet is it? One of those mornings.
We had such a good time walking around Universal Studios with Michelle.
So good. But we got home at like
2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So we pretty much just hung out with them. Rachel walked around with Michelle a lot when John Paul and I went on some different rides.
Because obviously Michelle can't go on rides.
No, they're like, as she walks through the gate, what are you even doing?
What are you doing here?
Right. But no, overall, we had a good time. And as we walked around, we were just like, you know what? I really don't want to spend a bunch of money and I have to throw out half the food because we didn't want to leave the park to eat. So we ate the carnivore snacks.
Which was delicious. And it satiated us, but didn't make us feel yucky.
Right.
Because you could see the faces of some people after they were eating some of the combinations of some of the quote-unquote fun food they had, which is basically like a burger with a donut as a bun and, you know, cereal on top. I mean, I appreciate the creativity. However, people were like, ugh, like they didn't look like it was even settling right.
Yeah. You're taking a perfectly good hamburger.
Right.
You're putting perfectly good pork belly on top.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're putting that on a donut bun covered in red icing with cereal on top.
I mean,
you ruined a perfectly good burger.
I was actually watching a woman like finish what she was eating, and then like go over to the garbage can, like preparing to throw up.
Wow. So I did not see that. So yeah, then on the way home, we were like, well, want a little something. So we had a hot dog, and I've determined that no matter how bad the hot dogs that I'm trying to create are, there are worse.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Because it was a true lips and buttholes, had to be like mostly chicken and turkey and all that kind of stuff.
And also not fresh.
Yeah. So we are going to end this vlog. Before we do, we're having some breakfast since we really didn't eat a big dinner yesterday anyway. So we've got some eggs. I did 5 eggs total, split between the two of us, so 2.5 eggs apiece. And then I took a couple of the hot dogs that I made, and I chopped them up, threw them on the Blackstone to heat them up. So that's like the meat aspect.
Oh my gosh. Have you had eggs and hot dogs? Eggs and hot dogs.
Cause
it's super, super like greasy and beefy. I mean, that tastes delicious.
Because you can do keto on hot dogs, mustard, and eggs.
Absolutely.
Right? And then we had 6 slices of bacon left.
So you
and
wrapped
I
them?
happened to have 3 jalapeno poppers.
Perfect.
Actually, I'm sorry, we had 4 slices of bacon. And so what I ended up doing was I just made a couple jalapeno poppers. There's a couple more in the fridge that we can eat later on for dinner, which you will not see. But yeah, so breakfast is a couple jalapeno poppers.
Very nice.
And some eggs. And then coffee. Rachel's drinking pumpkin spice. I'm drinking the pinwheel because it's my new favorite.
It's here.
So
He's
good.
drinking it.
Yeah, so we're going to end this vlog now. Now, if you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos. We have linked right over there. Also, make sure you take a look at the most recent video that I'm going to put right over here.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way, every single time we do something, you'll be alerted to it.
Until next time.
Bye.